Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from NFL News Now. The Dallas Cowboys are once again living in a loop, a frustrating, deja vu-style storyline that Cowboys Nation knows all too well. Every season begins with renewed hope, bold predictions, and the kind of star-studded talent that should make this team a contender. And yet, by Week 6 of the 2025 NFL season, that same painful narrative has resurfaced. The offense is humming like a finely tuned engine, led by a Dak Prescott who looks sharper and more confident than ever, but the defense continues to crumble at the worst possible times. The Cowboys' 30-27 loss to the Carolina Panthers on Sunday was another chapter in that same tragic play, one where the hero shines bright, only to be betrayed by the supporting cast. Dak Prescott didn't just play well, he played brilliantly. Against Carolina, Prescott threw for 261 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, slicing through the Panthers' secondary with surgical precision. He completed an impressive 73.5% of his passes, marking his second-highest completion rate of the season, and finished with a quarterback rating north of 124 for the third straight game. These are elite numbers, the kind of production you'd expect from someone in the thick of the MVP conversation. Yet, despite all that, the Cowboys walked away with another painful L. And once again, it wasn't Prescott's fault. When Brent Sobleski of Bleacher Report released his weekly quarterback grades, Prescott found himself right near the top of the list, earning yet another A for Week 6. That's 2 consecutive weeks where Dak has delivered an elite performance according to the metrics, and yet the Cowboys' record stands at a disappointing 2-3-1. Sobleski summed it up perfectly. Dak Prescott can only do so much. The Dallas Cowboys field an elite offense, but they can't help when opponents run roughshod over the team's sieve-like defense. And that's the key phrase right there, a sieve-like defense. No matter how efficient Prescott is, no matter how creative Mike McCarthy gets with play calling, this defense keeps letting the water pour through the cracks. It's not like Prescott is just padding his stats in garbage time, either. These are high-pressure drives, meaningful moments, clutch completions in tight windows. Against the Panthers, Prescott looked completely in command, shifting protections, reading blitzes, throwing receivers open. His connection with CeeDee Lamb was crisp, his timing with Brandon Cooks was impeccable, and his red zone chemistry with Jake Ferguson continues to develop beautifully. This is not the quarterback who was once criticized for being inconsistent or for crumbling in big moments. This is a man on a mission, a leader performing at an MVP level, desperate to carry his team to relevance. But every time he gets close, the defense finds a new way to sabotage him. And oh, that defense. The Cowboys' once vaunted unit, the same one that dominated headlines just 2 years ago for its ferocity and takeaways, has fallen off a cliff. Gone are the days when Micah Parsons terrorized quarterbacks at will and Trayvon Diggs baited passers into turnovers. Against the Panthers, Dallas looked slow, hesitant, and confused. The tackling was sloppy, the coverage busted, and the run defense, which was supposed to have been a point of emphasis all offseason, completely collapsed. The humiliation was made worse by the fact that the main culprit running all over them was none other than Rico Dowdle, last year's Cowboy leading rusher, who torched his former teammates for over 130 scrimmage yards and 2 scores. You could see the frustration building on the sideline. Prescott, stoic as ever, kept his composure, but his body language said it all. Every time the offense clawed back into the game, every precise throw, every perfect read, every clutch third down conversion, the defense answered with another blown coverage, another missed tackle, another Carolina drive that ended in points. It's becoming a cruel pattern. Prescott's brilliance followed by defensive collapse. Fans have started to ask the inevitable question, how much longer can Dak carry this load before it breaks him down? Prescott's numbers this season are staggering. Through 6 games, he ranks second in the NFL in passing yards with 1,617, trails only Patrick Mahomes in touchdown passes with 13, and boasts a QBR of 79.6, one of the highest in the league. He's completing nearly 70% of his passes on the year and protecting the football better than ever. Just 2 interceptions through 6 games. He's not just efficient, he's explosive. His deep ball has returned, his pocket awareness is sharp, and his confidence in tight windows is peaking. Statistically, this is the best version of Dak Prescott we've ever seen. And yet, somehow, the Cowboys are under .500. That's not just frustrating, it's heartbreaking. There's also something psychological happening with this team. When an offense knows it has to score on nearly every drive to compensate for a faltering defense, the margin for error disappears. Every incompletion feels heavier. Every missed third down becomes a crisis. And yet, Prescott has handled it with remarkable poise. He's not pointing fingers, not calling out teammates, not losing focus. He's simply showing up, week after week, delivering performances that would be celebrated on almost any other franchise. But in Dallas, they're drowned out by defensive breakdowns. The Cowboys' defensive regression isn't just about poor tackling or schematic confusion. It's about attitude. There's a lack of fire, a lack of urgency that used to define this group. You can tell they're missing that killer instinct, that ability to close out games. In past years, Dallas thrived on creating chaos, strip sacks, interceptions, energy plays that turned the tide. Now, opposing offenses are dictating the tempo, wearing them down with methodical drives, and breaking their will by the fourth quarter. The defensive line, once a strength, is getting bullied in the trenches. The linebackers look lost in space. The secondary is giving up chunk plays like it's handing out Halloween candy. If there's a silver lining, and Cowboys fans desperately need one, it's that the offense truly is elite. Prescott has elevated his game to the point where he's reading defenses like a veteran surgeon, making adjustments pre-snap and punishing mistakes post-snap. Tony Pollard may not be putting up gaudy numbers, but his presence in the passing game has been crucial. CeeDee Lamb is on pace for another 1,200-yard season, and Jake Ferguson is quietly emerging as one of the most reliable young tight ends in football. The offensive line, when healthy, still ranks among the best in pass protection. There's no doubt, this team can score with anybody. The problem is, they can't stop anybody. And that brings us back to the fundamental question haunting this franchise. What does it take to win in today's NFL? You can have a top-tier quarterback, dynamic playmakers, and creative play design. But if your defense can't get stops, you're not going anywhere. The Cowboys season is teetering on that fine line between promise and collapse. Prescott is doing everything in his power to keep them afloat, but football remains the ultimate team sport, and right now, this team isn't holding up its end of the bargain. At some point, something has to give. Maybe Dan Quinn needs to shake up his defensive scheme. Maybe the front office has to consider a trade to inject life into the secondary. Or maybe, just maybe, the Cowboys have to accept a painful truth that no matter how good Dak Prescott becomes, no quarterback can overcome a defense that refuses to play at a championship level. Prescott's performance deserves better. His leadership, precision, and command deserve a defense that can rise to the moment. Instead, all he's getting is heartbreak in high definition, week after week. So as the Cowboys prepare for Week 7, the question isn't whether Dak can keep playing at this level, because he absolutely can. The real question is whether his teammates, especially on defense, can match his intensity and desire to win. Because if they don't, the Cowboys are staring down another wasted season, another year where greatness gets swallowed by mediocrity. And if that happens again, the conversation in Dallas won't just be about missed tackles and blown coverages. It'll be about wasted potential, the kind that can haunt a franchise for years to come. Prescott's elite grade this week isn't just a statistic, it's a statement. It's proof that he's done his part, and then some. But until the defense decides to do theirs, the Cowboys will remain stuck in this maddening cycle. A team with the firepower to contend and the flaws to implode. And for a quarterback playing the best football of his life, that's the cruelest irony of all. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. Hold on to your hats, football fans, because what I'm about to share might just shake the very foundations of the NFL, especially for anyone who has been following the Dallas Cowboys. Rumors have been swirling around for weeks, whispers that started in the quiet corners of locker rooms and slowly made their way through social media like wildfire. And now it seems like the speculation has a life of its own. Dak Prescott, the face of the Cowboys for nearly a decade, could be on the verge of leaving Dallas. And if that happens, it's not just a change of quarterback. It's a seismic shift in the franchise's identity. For those who have watched Dak grow from a promising rookie to a veteran leader, this is the kind of news that hits hard. You can almost hear the collective gasp of Cowboys fans across the nation, from Texas to New York, from coast to coast. And the rumor mill is relentless. Sources close to the organization, some unnamed insiders, have been hinting at negotiations that aren't going as planned, conversations that have gone cold, and a sense of frustration building on both sides. The speculation isn't coming from one place either. It's everywhere, from sports talk radio to Twitter threads that are buzzing nonstop. Some say it's about the money. Others insist it's about the team's direction. And a few insiders have even hinted that Dak himself might be exploring new opportunities elsewhere, seeking a situation where he feels he can finally compete for a championship without the constant turbulence that has plagued Dallas in recent years. Imagine for a second the impact of this. Dak Prescott walking away from the Cowboys. It's almost unthinkable. He's been the franchise quarterback, the player the team has built around since he took over as starter, the player who has carried not just the offense but the hopes of the fans every single season. And yet, according to these whispers, tensions have been brewing beneath the surface. There are stories of disagreements over offensive strategy, rumors of friction in the locker room, and a sense that both Dak and the front office are growing impatient with the lack of tangible success. The Cowboys have invested heavily in talent around him, from wide receivers to the offensive line, and yet some insiders claim Dak feels like the pieces just aren't coming together the way they should. There's talk of a quarterback-coach dynamic that has become strained, with Dak wanting more control over the offense and the coaching staff pushing back. It's classic sports drama, the kind of story that keeps fans glued to every rumor and every cryptic social media post. The timing of this could not be more intriguing. With the NFL offseason approaching, teams are making moves, planning drafts, and positioning themselves for the next season, and the idea that Dak could leave Dallas now opens up a host of possibilities. Who could be the potential landing spots? The rumor mill is already running wild with speculation. Some analysts are suggesting teams like the New Orleans Saints, with their need for a proven signal caller, could be in the mix. Others point to the Las Vegas Raiders, or even the Washington Commanders as potential suitors who might have the cap space and the motivation to bring in a quarterback of Dak's caliber. Every time this topic comes up, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire, because fans start imagining scenarios that could reshape the league entirely. And let's not forget, Dak's reputation as a leader and his ability to command an offense instantly make any team that acquires him a contender, or at least a team with renewed hope for the future. But back in Dallas, the atmosphere is reportedly tense. Sources hint at meetings behind closed doors, where executives and coaches have been weighing their options, considering everything from restructuring contracts to preparing for a potential trade. The notion that a quarterback of Dak Prescott's stature could be on the move has sent ripples through the locker room. Teammates who have grown accustomed to his presence are reportedly bracing for the possibility that this could be the end of an era. It's the kind of uncertainty that can impact morale, performance, and even future player acquisitions. Imagine being a wide receiver or a running back knowing that your quarterback might not be around next season. That kind of tension seeps into every aspect of a team, from practice to the draft room, and sources suggest that the Cowboys are acutely aware of that. And then there's the fan reaction. Cowboys Nation is a passionate, vocal, and sometimes merciless community, and the idea of Dak leaving has already sparked debates that could go on for days, weeks, and even months. On social media, the comments range from disbelief to anger to cautious optimism. Some fans are loyal to Dak, insisting he deserves better than what he's been getting in Dallas. Others are skeptical, wondering if maybe a fresh start for both the team and the quarterback could be the best thing. And you can bet that every report, every insider tweet, every cryptic Instagram post from Dak or the Cowboys is being dissected and analyzed to death. Sports media outlets are having a field day, spinning every nugget of information into headlines that will dominate the next news cycle. Rumors are turning into speculation, speculation into hot takes, and hot takes into what feels like a tsunami of information that keeps fans glued to their screens. The financial angle can't be ignored either. Dak Prescott's contract has been a point of discussion since it was signed. While he's one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the league, sources suggest that recent discussions about restructuring or renegotiating could be a sticking point. Teams across the league are reportedly evaluating whether Dak's skill set, leadership, and experience are worth the potential cap hit. And from the Cowboys' perspective, managing the salary cap, building a roster capable of winning, and planning for the long term future all play into this unfolding drama. The rumor that Dak might walk away isn't just about a player. It's about a franchise, about decisions that could define the Cowboys for years to come. Meanwhile, Dak himself is reportedly taking a measured approach. Insiders suggest that he's not making any rash decisions, that he's weighing his options carefully, and that he's focused on finding a situation where he can win. The whispers are that he's already in discussions with his agent, exploring potential suitors, and keeping the lines of communication open, all while maintaining professionalism in Dallas. If true, this shows a quarterback who understands his value and is strategically positioning himself for a move that could make headlines for months. And let's not forget, Dak has always been a player who thrives under pressure, someone who steps up in big moments, which means that wherever he goes, the story doesn't end. It evolves. As this story continues to develop, one thing is certain. The NFL landscape could look dramatically different very soon. The Cowboys might need to start thinking about life after Dak Prescott, considering alternatives, and preparing for a world where the franchise quarterback they've relied on might no longer be in the building. Fans, analysts, and even casual observers are watching closely, knowing that any confirmation of this rumor would trigger a chain reaction of trades, draft moves, and strategic shifts across the league. And for Dak, this could be a chance to redefine his legacy, to find a team that aligns with his vision and his talent, and perhaps to finally reach the championship glory that has eluded him in Dallas. So, as the rumors swirl and insiders drop hints that fuel the speculation, the story of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys remains one of the most intriguing narratives in sports right now. Will he stay loyal to the team that drafted him? Will he seek greener pastures and a fresh start elsewhere? Or is this all just noise, the kind of rumor that flares up and dies down without ever coming to fruition? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. The NFL world is watching, fans are reacting, and the potential shakeup of one of the league's most iconic franchises is creating a buzz that isn't slowing down anytime soon. This is the kind of sports drama that reminds us why we love the game, why we analyze every move, every contract, and every interview. Because behind every rumor there could be reality, and behind every whisper, there could be history in the making. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.